discussion.
Speaker,
Yes, Representative McDermott.
I rise against this measure.
In opposition, please proceed.
Yes, I'm going to cast a no vote on this. Mr. Speaker, I thought we did this 20 years ago when I was here before. I guess either my glasses are bad or my memory's going. I'm not certain, but here it is again. Apparently we didn't do too well taking care of that money and shepherding it and stewarding it where it needed to go. But nevertheless, this measure before us is an attempt to raise the barrel tax, if you will. Oh, it's only a couple cents. But in this session, this blizzard, this tornado of fees that I have seen coming, it's only at 10 cents here, 5 cents there, 2 cents there. It's going to hit people. It's going to hit working people. Those are the people I represent. They're not driving BMWs. They're living down in Eva Beach, okay, Mr. Speaker? And these are the people who are going to pay the increased gas fees. I guess it's okay if you're cruising your BMW, you feel good, you did something, you know, okay, we're taking care of the environment. No offense to anybody who drives a BMW, just you're in a higher socioeconomic strata. These folks are the ones who are going to pay, Mr. Speaker. And it goes to environmental response. Okay, we all support that. I wonder if the folks who drafted the bill are aware of how we bring our oil in to be processed. 2 miles out off Barbers Point, it's brought in through a pipeline. The reason it's done offshore is if there ever was a disaster, it would dissipate. The same reason we don't have smog, we're in the middle of the ocean. We have the log that comes through, but not smog per se. The oil would dissipate. That's why they don't do it near shore, and that's why Navy ships, even though they're in Pearl Harbor, don't refuel at the harbor. They go out to sea and refuel to mitigate any environmental disaster. It also is supposed to go towards food security. Mr. Speaker, we have 7 million people coming through the state. We can't feed them all, Mr. Speaker. It feels good, Mr. Speaker, to say food security. But when I go into Sam's Club and I have a choice between onions that were grown here, which taste delicious, and onions that were grown in Idaho, and I can buy the ones in Idaho 10 pounds for the same price I can buy 5 pounds, and I got a lot of mouths to feed, guess which one I'm going to buy? The fact of the matter is we can't address food security through things like this until we get the prices down. This isn't going to help because we have the most expensive real estate in the world. But back to the measure, Mr. Speaker. I noticed the aviation fuel is exempt. Why is that? We refine it here. We also bring it in already processed on occasion. Why is aviation fuel exempt? Why is that? Perhaps, I'm not asking you.
It's a rhetorical question, I understand.
Yes.
Go ahead, please continue.
Perhaps the airlines where my wife used to work have a lobbyist come down here and say, don't do that to us.
Hold on, Representative McDermott. Focus your comments on matters that are germane to the bill.
Well, I'm pointing out that aviation fuel is exempt, and I'm curious why it's exempt. I'm curious why aviation fuel is exempt.
But we look at the merits of the bill, and so whether the intention was ill-willed or not.
Well, no, I'm not saying the intention was ill-willed. If anyone felt that way, I apologize. What I'm saying is aviation fuel is exempt. The rhetorical question is why it's exempt. Okay, so that's the rhetorical question. You can draw your own assumptions.
That's fine. That's fine.
And I like you. You're a nice guy. I don't want to get in a fight with you.
We're having a great exchange, but thank you.
But the guys who are going to get hit is Joe Sixpack driving a 20-year-old truck, living in Eva Beach, who's got to drop his wife off of Waikiki before she goes to work. He's paying at the pump, Mr. Speaker. And this is only a small amount, but it's added to the $1.05 a few years ago. We have to think about these people, Mr. Speaker. It's a tsunami of fees coming at them, and it's a feel-good measure that I don't know how many positions we're going to fund. What are they going to do if there's no response? Just sit around? Who knows? I'm not getting a lot of answers, Mr. Speaker. Thank you so very much.
Thank you very much, Representative. Members, Representative Hanohano?
Kanalua.
Kanalua for Representative Hanohano. Any other Representative Fale?
Mr. Speaker, I rise with very, very strong reservations regarding this bill because it reaches again into the pockets of the working families in my community who are struggling to make it out in my area. and we have to drive all the way to Honolulu for the jobs that we have. And this is just going to further add to the burden that they are asked to bear. And it's going to very disproportionately affect those in the lowest income bracket. Those who are just trying to keep their head above water, you know, trying to get to the next day, going from one paycheck to the next, not even going from one paycheck to the next, because they get into a debt a little bit more, and this doesn't help them. I understand the intent, I understand what it is we need to do, but this isn't, we need to address the very critical needs of our working, of the working families in our community, and we're not, we need to get their heads clearly above water before we start reaching into the pockets anymore. And those are my comments, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you, Representative. Representative Ward.
Thank you, Speaker. In the same spirit of Frank Fossey and the little guy, I vote with reservations.
Okay, so ordered. Representative McDermott, second time? Still
Yes,
opposition?
second time. I was on a riff there. I can't help it, Mr. Speaker. Indulge me. With regard to the aviation fuel, I love the airlines. They're fantastic. They didn't give me any money, by the way. I just want you to know that. So
It doesn't relate, it doesn't relate to the merits of the bill.
Okay. Mr. Speaker, this will increase the cost, this bill will increase the cost of energy in the state of Hawaii. The energy is the largest contributor to our cost of doing business. Not only does it hurt the person getting in their truck to drive to work, but it hurts the employer who's trying to hire people. We have the highest energy cost in the nation, 38 cents a kilowatt hour, I believe. This is increasing those costs. So again, I am against this measure. Thank you.
Thank you, Representative. Members, any further discussion on stand count report number 308? Representative Fukumoto.
Yes, no vote, please, Mr. Speaker,
No
and
vote.
permission to insert written comments.
So ordered.
Thank you.
Representative Har.
Please note my reservations, and may I please have the comments of the speaker, the freshman speaker from Laie, entered into the journal as if they were my own.
So ordered. Further discussion? Representative Johanson.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. A no vote, and may I have permission to insert written comments in the journal?
So ordered.
Thank you.